Triple J says yes. Find the car of your dreams. Know how much you're approved for and what your trade-in is worth instantly online at triplejguam.com. Get a real-time view of every car in our inventory. Pre-qualify instantly and save time at the dealership. Triple J says yes.
So welcome back, Ginger. It's so great to see you after 20 years. I can't believe it.
Some things change and some things just don't change.
Hey everyone, welcome to Cruising. We're here with a very familiar face to all you KUAM viewers, Ginger Cruz. Welcome back to Guam, Ginger.
Thank you, Nestor.
I can't believe it's been 20 years.
I know. In some senses it doesn't feel like 20 years, but yeah, it's been 20 years. That's crazy.
Let's start with your career at KUAM. For those who may not remember, how did it all get started?
Well, television got started back in the day when there was Guam cable TV. Came back from summer from school one year and said, hey, I want to intern at the television station. So I started doing TV, fell in love with it, and then when I graduated from college, I came back and got offered a position and then started to do TV, got completely hooked. And then when KUAM was really sort of undergoing some of the changes down in Ordot, they said, hey, come and work with us. So I actually started with you.
Remember that very well.
KUAM down in the day in the old Ordot station, back where Madeline used to do her show and everything, and KUAM
that's where it all got started.
Exactly.
Everybody's got an Ordot story too.
Exactly. So those were the days. I remember doing the typhoons we covered and the elections we covered and liberation and all of that. So those are my memories of the strong memories of KUAM.
Yeah. What are the stories that stood out for you from those days, the early days when you first started?
But Typhoon Omar really was one of those amazing days. I mean, we were all covering that storm, and we didn't realize that it was going to be as strong as it was. And look, now it's raining, like just as I say storm, right? That's perfect. And when we were out, we actually came back. I think Ed Conception was my photographer.
Yep.
And we came back from the shoot, and it was starting to get really bad. The storm was getting really bad. And we were asking the weather, I don't know who was doing the weather at the time, but we're saying, wait a minute, is the forecast right? Like, is this going to be worse than we thought? Because the cars were starting to blow really badly. We got out of the car, we walked into the station in Ordot, and the tower, that 400-foot tower, we heard the sound, and like literally I had just gotten out of the car and gotten into the station, and we heard this creaking sound, and like slam, it landed right on the car that we were in. So had Ed and I been 5 minutes later, we could have been in that car and hit by that huge tower that came down. So that stuck in my head.
And then we moved to the current location here in Harmon, and you were involved in the actually design of the place.
Yeah, it's amazing to see the station is still like the way we did it back then. We did the 2 radio stations on either side and the double deck on the television studio, and it was really nice that the owners let me do that. Like Calvo said, you get to help design the station, so putting all those drawings together, thinking of all the places where we were going to edit and shoot and do all those things, and it's still there, and it's still serving the purpose and still doing what everybody needs.
Well, what was it like when you walked back in? Did you get the rush of memories keep flooding in, or?
I did. I didn't realize how much I missed it. It was really nice to see, and I mean it's crazy because it's like a legacy of something that you do something and then you don't recognize like what you did until you really leave it for a long time. And I think being away for 20 years and then coming back and seeing it's still there, and when I turn on the TV and I see Sabrina and I see everybody and they're and the new crew too, it's amazing to see a part of you is still continuing.
Yeah, and KUAM is just an island institution, and it's really done well. I think the people that have come after us have just done a tremendous job, and it's it'll always be that, I think.
Yeah. Well, and now I see them online, so that's a whole new thing. I mean, we're talking about GoPro now, right? Look at technology,
exactly.
all the things we didn't have back then, and a website, and I mean, it's crazy to see the changes, but at the same time, it's still KUAM, you know?
Yeah, that's one of the things that amazed me when I came back this most recent time, is that there's just so many new things about the business.
Yeah.
We didn't have the Facebooks and the WhatsApp and all of this instant, response from viewers. So yeah, it's changed quite a bit, and I imagine that it's going to change even more to a point where, the old 6 o'clock news, that might be a thing of the past.
I know. I was thinking that. I was actually thinking that as I was watching it, and I was thinking, maybe you're just going to do stories and then just post them online so that people can just pull them up and watch them whenever they want to watch them, because people's lives have changed. It's not like they sit around the TV at 6 with their family and have dinner and watch news. They're on the go now, and they want to just see the news when they see the news.
Exactly. That's exactly what I think too. I think the generation now, the millennials, they're not used to sitting down at 6 o'clock to watch the news.
Yeah.
They're used to being able to access it on their smartphones or whatever gadget they might have, and getting the news as it's happening. So.
I know, and it's not an hour anymore, is it?
No, it's a half hour. It's a half hour, but we've got KUAM Extras that fills the other half. So technically it is still an hour, but the second part of the news is more just feature stories and other stuff, regular features that we come up with.
The thing that was taken out, which people can all get now on their phones, was the international news. Because I remember when we used to do it, like way back in the day, like the 6 o'clock news. I mean, you were Dan Rather of Guam, Nestor. I mean, we used to sit there and we'd have to go through all the international stories, and then you had the wires and everything, and we'd make sure everybody knew what was going on around the world and what was going on in Guam. So that was why it was an hour. And nowadays, I mean, anybody, it's like their phone bling, oh, President Trump did this, or this happened in North Korea, and they don't need that international news anymore because they can just get it. It's crazy.
So after you left KUAM, they pulled you out and grabbed you into a little bit for a short time in the Guam political scene?
Yeah, so I worked at the governor's office and for Governor Gutierrez, and did that for a couple of years, and that was great because it gave me the other perspective. It gave me the perspective of the political side and how they engage with the media. So I was the communications director for a couple of years, and that was great. I mean, to do a political campaign and to be involved and understand really how government works from the inside of government. Those experiences the reason I was successful in my life and was able to work in the federal government and have a company was directly related to all the experiences I got in Guam. I mean, to all the young folks in Guam, I mean, the quality of education here and the quality of the experiences here and the job experiences that you're going to get are going to be so good that it just transfers perfectly no matter where you go. You can go to the highest levels of government. I meet with prime ministers now. I meet with folks in the U.S. Congress. I've briefed the President, the Secretary of State, the Secretary of Defense, and it's a skill that you learn sitting here and interviewing the governor and interviewing the speaker and doing those things. It's the same exact skill.
Triple J says yes. Find the car of your dreams. Know how much you're approved for and what your trade-in is worth instantly online at triplejguam.com. Get a real-time view of every car in our inventory. Pre-qualify instantly and save time at the dealership. Triple J says yes. Triple J says yes. Find the car of your dreams. Know how much you're approved for and what your trade-in is worth instantly online at triplejguam.com. Get a real-time view of every car in our inventory. Pre-qualify instantly and save time at the dealership. Triple J says yes.
And you spent some time while working for the federal government in the Middle East. What were you doing there?
So in 2003, I got offered a job to come work at the Special Inspector General for Iraq reconstruction. And it was a new organization that the Congress set up. And they wanted somebody who had media experience and government experience. And not a lot of people in the States have both of those experiences at the senior level.
You fit the bill perfectly.
So I fit the bill because, in Guam, I'd done both. So I started working. I was the Deputy Inspector General for 8 years. And that was incredible because I got to go all flying in helicopters and combat gear and in C-130s, and I had a team of 150 auditors and investigators, and we did all the audits and investigations of the $62 billion that the U.S. government spent in Iraq. And I've got to, know and become friends with all the leadership in Iraq, the prime minister, the ministers, the members of parliament, and really built up a whole network of folks. So in 2012, when the organization was winding down because the Iraq reconstruction program was ending, I decided to form a company with one of my best friends who I'd worked with. So we got out of the government and formed Manted International, and so we've been doing that ever since, consulting the same region. So we're doing that. We live in Beirut now, and we consult in Iraq.
When people think of Beirut, the images of a devastated city, flashing to your mind, but it's not really anything like that, is it?
No. So the last war that they had in 2006, they were bombed by Israel. So there was a bit of tension after that period of time. But Lebanon has really rebuilt, amazingly rebuilt after that. So when you drive around, there's still a couple of buildings that you can see the evidence of the war, but really it's amazing. There's been this renaissance in Lebanon, so it's come back. And they call it the Paris of the Middle East. And it is this amazing, beautiful country. There's 4 million people. It's on the Mediterranean. And it's like a little bit Italian, but it's also got the Arab culture and the Phoenician culture all mixed together. The people speak French, English, and Arabic, all like in the same sentence almost. It's 50% Muslim, 50% Christian. So everybody gets along. You'll see somebody wearing hijab, going to the university, and there'll be a girl sitting across from her in a tank top and shorts, and they're best friends at school. And to me, it's such a wonderful piece of the Middle East that has a taste of Europe and a taste of the Middle East, but then there's this strong family value and a bit of the ocean culture. Go to a good fish restaurant and sit on the beach. So there's
Which
that.
reminds you a bit about Guam, right?
It does.
When you were working for the federal government in Iraq, tell us about some of the big stories or the big problems that you uncovered as an inspector general.
We, at the end of doing those 8 years of work, we pretty much found out that of the $62 billion that the U.S. taxpayers put in there, and that includes Guam taxpayers, actually, that about, I would say, $20 billion of it was wasted. There was some theft in the group that we worked for, and I helped to run. We put about 54 people in jail for stealing money and taking that. But the worst part was the waste, where they just poured all this money on a situation and they didn't do a good job overseeing it. And you think, $62 billion with a B was wasted, and you're thinking, a rounding error is the budget of Guam, and how much that affects education and people's lives. And it really is something that makes you appreciate how important it is to have a government that does things that are the right things, and does right by the people that it governs.
Your experience during that time, it helped you meet a lot of people that are partners and associates now in your business?
I do, yeah. So there's a lot of folks in the business now. There's American companies that do work all around the world, and there's investors in the Middle East. And since I've been back on this trip, I've been thinking, there's an opportunity, I think, for some of the folks in that part of the world to really think about maybe investing and doing some things in Guam, because the potential here is incredible. I'd forgotten how beautiful it was. I knew it was beautiful. I always bragged about Guam. I still do. Everywhere I go, I brag about Guam. But really, it is incredibly beautiful, and the people are just amazing. It's the one thing that you just can't trade anywhere else in the world.
Sure.
Is the goodness. There is just a goodness on the inside of the people of Guam that you don't get in other parts of the world. They're a lot more sharper in their negotiation skill, and they'll take advantage of each other because that's the way that those cultures are. And there's just a sweetness and a goodness in Guam that's amazing.
Are there any potential investments that you can bring to Guam through your business?
We're going to look at it. There's some talk about air routes and improving the economy of some of the cargo routes and bringing things in, because one of the biggest problems Guam has, right, is getting things here. And it's super expensive, and the reason the cost of living is so high is because transportation is really tough. So I'm actually working with an international firm that's expanding their air routes, and I'm definitely going to be talking to them to see, what we can do to get them interested in maybe coming out here and setting up some routes that might be able to bring those costs down. And then, of course, with the tourism, I mean, Lebanon is a big tourist destination in the Middle East for all the folks in the Gulf and a lot of those areas, and they know tourism really well, and they have a lot of money. So, there might be an opportunity to see if we can get some of them to come out and do some things as well. But always keeping that sense of Guam, keeping the natural beauty, that untouched sense of Guam. I think that's really important.
Triple J says yes. Find the car of your dreams. Know how much you're approved for and what your trade-in is worth instantly online at triplejguam.com. Get a real-time view of every car in our inventory. Pre-qualify instantly and save time at the dealership. Triple J says yes. Triple J says yes. Find the car of your dreams. Know how much you're approved for and what your trade-in is worth instantly online at triplejguam.com. Get a real-time view of every car in our inventory. Pre-qualify instantly and save time at the dealership. Triple J says yes.
Who've been some of your inspirations in your professional life?
Well, right now, a lot of the stuff that I do overseas, Ambassador Crocker was one of the ambassadors. He was bombed in the Beirut bombing way back in the 80s, I believe it was. And then he went on to be ambassador in Iraq and ambassador in Afghanistan. One of the smartest people I know. He sponsored my membership into the Council on Foreign Relations. I'm a member now. And he's somebody who I watched work through some of the toughest times, when people are dying and decisions are being made, and you see him and you see how he makes decisions and how he thinks and the things that he does. So that's, now somebody that really affects the way that I think and the things that I do. And then, on Guam, all the different governors that were here, Governor Ada, Governor Gutierrez, Madeline, a lot of those folks, when you saw how they did the work and some of the stuff that they told me, back in the day, I still to this day remember what they told me and use it and apply it. And I tell some of the young people that are, working for me or interning, those same lessons that you learned over the years, because they're universal lessons. It's the same thing.
So what's still on your bucket list?
Well, there's still about 160 countries I haven't been to. I'd cross off maybe half of them, but the other half I haven't been to. So I love traveling. I do love traveling. And I think I've added back onto the bucket list. I got to come back to Guam more than every 20 years, definitely.
Definitely.
And really getting my business to grow and to do more good work. I mean, right now we always say we're on the side of the angels. We do fixing for a lot of these companies, and we try to do things that make a difference, because you only have one life, right? And you and I are talking about that. You said you came to Guam and you were looking at, what is it about my life? You got to be happy. You got to be doing something that makes you feel like you are actually contributing, because, after a while that's it. And you have to do something with your life that's meaningful.
Yeah.
And I'm still looking for that. I think I've done a lot. And there'd be times when I'd be flying across Iraq during the height of the war, like in 2006, and they'd be bombing us. We'd be living in trailers in the middle of the green zone. The bombs would come down and would hit a trailer like 2 over from mine, and you'd feel the ground shake. And you literally, it could have been you that got hit by that bomb. So you're having a life and death moment, right? So you're in a helicopter, they're shooting at the helicopter, and you're thinking, wow, if one of those hits the blades and this helicopter goes down, you really think about, am I at peace with that? Did I do what I needed to do in life? And the answer was yes. During those times, you'd think about it and you'd say, I've traveled, I've done the things that I've wanted to do. There's a lot more that I want to do. But if this is it, I'm done so much, and Guam is the biggest part of that, I think, really, to be able to look back and say, it's been an amazing life. It continues to be an amazing life, and I mean, I know I sound kind of, philosophical here, but that's what happens after 20 years, right?
Triple J says yes. Find the car of your dreams. Know how much you're approved for and what your trade-in is worth instantly online at triplejguam.com. Get a real-time view of every car in our inventory. Pre-qualify instantly and save time at the dealership. Triple J says yes. Triple J says yes. Find the car of your dreams. Know how much you're approved for and what your trade-in is worth instantly online at triplejguam.com. Get a real-time view of every car in our inventory. Pre-qualify instantly and save time at the dealership. Triple J says yes.
You return home to a place that obviously means so much to you. So all of these emotions just come flooding back. I would think.
They do.
Right? Yeah.
They do. I'm a little bit emotional because it's really something. But the first day I came back, I was afraid I was going to forget things. Like, that was the thing. I was looking for KUAM. I mean, I have to admit to everybody, I was like, wait a minute, I even helped design the studio.
That's what I told you. I said you forgot where it is.
Where
you
was it? I thought it was on the right side, not on the left side. And I'm looking, I'm like, I know that there is that area. But then when you come back, it's like muscle memory, like you forget for the first couple of minutes and then it comes back to you. But it's really, I mean, just seeing Guam is something. And the distances are shorter. I remember, like, you used to say, oh, we're going to go down to Maritza. And you'd be like, what? You'd have to, like, plan it for a couple of weeks. You're, like, all the way down south. And
far, yeah.
Now it's like I'm there in a blink of the eye. I'm like, wow, I'm here already? It's something. Hey, there's a surveyor. My dad was a surveyor in Guam. That was what brought us here.
Were you surprised that so many people still remember?
I was surprised. I was really surprised. Actually, okay, what really surprised me, kind of made me feel old, but it really surprised me, was a lot of the young folks, especially the ones that are in TV now or radio, who came up to me and were like, man, you're a legend. I remember watching you when I was just a kid. And you're like, whoa. I mean, at one minute you feel old. You're like, oh, okay, could you use like something younger than a legend? Like, but it's so humbling. I mean, it's really humbling to have, folks who were 6, 7 years old and watching TV and seeing you and me, right, do this. And now it's their time. And they're anchoring and they're reporting and they're learning all of these things. And they still remember you. And the fact that you actually, maybe were a little bit responsible for them someday wanting to be on TV is amazing. I mean, it's really humbling.
It's really good to see because these are very quality reporters. So I think the business is in very good hands.
It is. And, I was surprised, but the whole time that I've been on Lebanon, I've been kind of flipping through the channels, and even if it's in Arabic, it helps my language get better. But I've been trying to find something similar where they would do like a newscast with a whole full-on thing. And it's a bit harder to find, or it doesn't quite look the same. And I do miss that. And I think that the fact that Guam has kept that going, and there's so much local talent on the radio and on TV, I think that's an incredible thing. And you got to keep that up. Because in the States, it's like there's only 2 or 3 channels now, and everybody watches, who watches the local channel anymore? It's CNN or Fox or MSNBC, right? You got to keep that local sense so that people know what's going on at home, and they can relate to that instead of everybody just seeing the same thing at the top level. Like, what's Kim Kardashian doing this way? Well, forget Kim Kardashian. Like, who's in Guam? Like, what's the latest thing happening in Guam? So,
what would be your best advice to a wedding journalist?
So I thought about it for a couple of years, and I said, you've got to blend your experiences. And I don't want to tell people to leave Guam, but at the same time, I think one of the things, and you can relate to this as well because it happened to you too. You got to leave it a little bit to get those experiences, and then you got to come back. I left to go to college, and then I came back, and that was like an injection of different ideas and things that I wanted to do. And then I left again, and and now I'm back. But I see some of the young talent, and they're really good. I mean, they could do this anywhere else in the world. But you also have to come back, because anywhere else in the world, you'll just be another person. But when you come back to Guam, it's your place. So I think my advice to people would be, learn as much as you can while you're here, and then go learn something somewhere else in the world and explore and pick up different cultures, different experiences, different techniques, and then bring it back and see what you can do to bring that back into Guam and to change things and make it more technologically advanced, or bring back the newest thing and then inject that into what's going on in Guam. I think that would be amazing.
Well, it's certainly great to have you back, and it's so wonderful to see you after so many years. I can't believe it's been that long, but you can't stay away 20 years again. You got to keep coming back to Guam.
I won't.
We miss you here.
Definitely be back.
Ginger Cruz, everybody. Thanks for joining our cruise.
Thanks.